What's up everyone, StrangeLuv here bringing you a review of one of the most talked about games of this year, Battlefield 3. I want to start by saying that I'm new to the Battlefield franchise, so I was hoping to bring you a more objective critique based on what I've experienced with the multiplayer. I'm also playing Battlefield 3 on the Xbox 360, so my critique can't account for the PC gaming experience that Battlefield 3 was designed for, and I also am only talking about the multiplayer. I have not played the campaign, so please keep that in mind. One of Battlefield 3's most redeeming qualities are its aesthetics. The graphics are beautiful, even on consoles, and I highly recommend downloading the graphics pack that comes with the game. Plus, the sound is freaking amazing. This game deserves to be played on high volume with surround sound speakers if you have them. Another thing that I really like about the game are the guns. They have a realistic bullet drop and a sway that takes some getting used to. It would be nice if there was maybe a combat training so that I could get used to the guns, but overall they feel pretty good. One of the biggest issues that I always run into with first-person shooters is the amount of bullets it takes to kill an enemy. It's one of the most basic elements of the game that can make or break my gaming experience. And in Battlefield 3, I've noticed that sometimes it can take me up to 4 or 5 bullet hits to kill an enemy. And I know this comes down to many different factors, like the type of gun I'm using, or where they got hit, or how much health the enemy has. But if the game is going for the element of realism, then a lower percentage of health should at least debilitate a player a little bit more than having a black or white screen. I've been killed by enemies who had 1% of health left, and that was enough to just piss me off because they should at least be bleeding out on the ground and shouldn't be able to just shoot me and run away. Now, to make up for the bullet hit issue, Battlefield 3 offers a hardcore mode. However, since hardcore is not an option under the quick match settings, you have to search for a hardcore server using the server filter settings, and usually there are very limited hardcore servers available. And when you do find one that you can get into, there's only room for maybe one person. So if you had a party with you, you're probably not going to find a hardcore server that's going to fit all of you in. So I think if I could play more hardcore games more consistently, I would enjoy the multiplayer a little bit more. My other criticisms of Battlefield 3 can be reduced to formatting issues. I love that I can edit my classes during a game and start using my unlocked content right away, but I don't like having to wait for a match to begin in order to back out of the lobby. I should be able to do this in between matches as well. Also, Battlefield 3 relies heavily on teamwork, and multiplayer is much more fun when you have a good group of friends who work together and help each other. However, when I played with my organized party of friends, we ended up getting put into separate teams almost every match that we played, which defeats the purpose of getting all of us together into a team in the first place, and it was kind of frustrating having to kill your friends when you were planning on working with them. Besides, I'm usually alone when I play, and it was a lot more difficult to effectively play the game when you're playing with a group of strangers with their own agendas. Teamwork is important, but there should be more of a balance between teamwork and the lone wolf styles of gameplay in Battlefield 3, in my opinion. Overall, the Battlefield 3 multiplayer wasn't the earth-shattering, revolutionary Call of Duty killer that it was hyped up to be, and it also is very different from the Call of Duty style of gameplay, but I want to emphasize that this does not make it a bad game. Many of the issues people have between the two games comes down to personal preference, so you can't really compare the two. Battlefield 3 is a great game for its fans and its target audience, but it would be a little better if it worked out some of its technical issues, maybe with a patch. For that, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I wouldn't recommend it for the strict Call of Duty fans unless you go into Battlefield 3 with an open mind. That's my 2 cents on the matter for what it's worth. Thanks for listening, guys. Hope you enjoyed the review, and I'll see you next time.